So what is the B2 First FCE exam? In today's video, we're going to find out. The B2 First exam is an exam that tests you for upper intermediate level. There are 4 parts to this exam: the reading and use of English, speaking, writing and listening. And we'll go through the overview of that exam later in the video, so stay tuned for that. Once you pass the exam result will last forever. You pass it today, you can use this exam result to study at a university in an English-speaking country next year or in 2 years' time. That's another fantastic thing about this exam, because if you pass this exam, you could probably go and study in most English-speaking universities in USA, UK, Australia, Canada, etc. So that's another great thing. What you do have to remember though is this is a pass-fail exam, so you can fail this exam, but you can also pass it and get that B2 certification. Let's go through the overview of this exam. Start off by talking about the reading and use of English part of the test. It's a 75-minute test with 7 parts. All in all, 52 questions and 2,200 words to read. In parts 1, 2, 3 and 4, it's mainly about grammar and vocabulary, whereas in parts 5, 6 and 7, they are mainly reading comprehension questions. And this is the most important part of the test because it counts towards 40% of the final grade at FCE. The second part of the test is the writing test. The writing test is an 80-minute test, and there are 2 parts. One part is where you have to write an essay, and the other part you get a choice between a letter, an article or a review. Both of the writing tasks will need you to write between 140 words and 190 words, and the writing is 20% of the final grade. Let's move on to the third part. The third part of the test is the listening test. In the listening test, which takes 40 minutes, there are 4 parts and 30 questions. It will total 20% of the final grade as well, and you will listen to some short conversations, and you'll also listen to some short speeches and some monologues too. Luckily, in the B2 First exam, you get to listen to everything twice, which I think is really, really good. Let's move on to the last part, the most challenging part, speaking. The speaking test in the FCE B2 First exam is challenging. First of all, because you have to have not only a conversation with the examiner, but you also have to have a conversation with somebody else who's taking the test too. There are 4 parts to the speaking test, 2 with the examiner and 2 with your partner. Altogether, the test will take about 15 minutes and will count towards 20% of the final grade. Most of the speaking test is answering questions, photo comparison, as well as talking about some things with your partner, agreeing and disagreeing. So that is the B2 First test. Today's question of the day is, why do you want to take this test? Tell me in the comments below. Now let's move on and talk about the scoring system of the B2 First FCE exam. The scoring system is depending on your grade overall. So the top mark is 190, and to get the first pass mark, you have to reach 140. That will get you a B1 level. However, most people want to take the test, want to achieve the B2 level because that's the level they need, for example, to study at a university. And that is 160 points. And if you score between 160 points and 180 points, you'll get B2. But if you score between 180 points and 190 points, you'll get a C1, which is fantastic actually, because usually most people take the CAE test to get a C1 level, but you can get a C1 level just by doing FCE. Also, within the B2 level, there are 2 grades, grade C and grade B. Grade C is between 160 and 172, and grade B is between 173 and 180. If you get 180 or above, that's a C1 level, you will score a grade A.
And to learn more, click this video here.